Welcome back to the Momentum Sports Podcast. If you're new here, please consider hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button. Comment down below your thoughts. Derek and I love talking about college sports, especially college football and college basketball. We're excited to get on to this next topic that you came here for. So let's get it. Derek, this is a discussion that is going all over college football right now. Dare I say it? Is the SEC an overrated football conference right now? Me, for example, all year long, I was over there defending the SEC. I was saying that it's not even close. The Big Ten is nowhere near the SEC whenever it comes to the depth of the conference. I don't really know anymore how I feel about that because Texas is the only SEC team left, and their road to get there was Clemson and Arizona State. While Tennessee got obliterated by Ohio State, who then obliterated Oregon. And then Georgia loses in their first and only game, their only game against Notre Dame by double digits. Georgia, I'm pretty sure going into the bracket was the favorite to win the whole thing. Before any games were played, I think Georgia was the favorite. They go in, get knocked out. Two SEC teams are out. One is left. And it's kind of uncertain what Texas is going to do against Ohio State. Before round 2 of the playoffs, Texas would have been a hypothetical matchup predictor had Texas at -1 over Ohio State in that matchup. After round 2, Ohio State opened at a 6-point favorite. It's now at 5.5 while we're recording this on January 7th. With that being said, and also Penn State's still in this. Now, Penn State's kind of like Texas. They played an SMU and a Boise State. And they're going up against Notre Dame. So 2 Big Ten teams are in the last 4 spots. 1 SEC team and 2 SEC teams have gotten knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
With all that being said, and Bama losing to Michigan, let's throw that in there. Is the SEC overrated? Is the Big Ten a better conference? Or if the SEC is a better conference than the Big Ten still, even after talking about all this, how big is the gap between the SEC and everybody else?
Well, I'm not sure just yet. I
Yeah.
mean, Ohio State did beat Tennessee. Texas didn't play them. Michigan beat Alabama. Texas beat the crap out of them.
Good
And
point.
Missouri beat Iowa, who is a Big Ten team. So, and then you got South Carolina, who lost to Illinois, but beat Clemson. So we don't know there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but you take the fact that Texas and Arizona State was a close game, and Arizona State came back and they should have won. Well, I can't really say they should have won. It was looking that it was going that way.
Well, I wasn't expecting you to
We,
say that. That's awfully big of you, Derek. I was not expecting that. I know what you mean. Not like should have won, but they would have been in a very good position to win
yeah,
if
they
that
would
call
have been.
was, yeah.
But here's the thing: there hasn't been a legitimate Big Ten and legitimate SEC team that have played each other in the playoffs yet. And Ohio State lost to Michigan. Texas beat Michigan. Ohio State has struggled. Same has Texas. Who's going to show up? Yes, Ohio State has dominated, but who's going to show up? Is Texas going to show up?
Yeah.
or is Ohio State going to show up? That's the question. I think any team can win this game, you know, because you
Yeah.
look at the points I've been making, how Ohio State lost to Michigan,
Yep.
Texas beat Michigan at their house, you
And
know.
Texas has the athletes to compete with Ohio State.
Mhm,
Ohio State is not going to out athlete Texas. It would strictly be coaching. It would be having
mhm.
those certain players in certain positions and schemes and all that. I I do think that Ohio State may have a slight edge talent wise to Texas, but is it a big enough gap that it really makes that big of a difference? I don't think so. I
I
think
don't
that
think
it
so
should
either.
be like a very close one possession, maybe 3 point difference at most.
And here's the thing: Texas knows Will Howard. They played him
Right.
four. He's lost him four straight times before he went to Ohio State this year. And
Yeah.
you got to understand, Ohio State hasn't played against a secondary defense like Texas.
Yeah.
This is the best secondary defense Ohio State will have played probably this whole for the rest of the games. If they lose, they'll be the last, and then they'll have to play Texas again in their next game.
Yeah.
But uh, I don't think the receivers are going to do what they've done with other teams because of Texas' secondary doing so well,
Hmm.
and Texas' front four is really good too. They gave Arizona State's quarterback so much pressure. He was running like his life was like he was, you know, how would I say it? Like he was about to lose his life, and he had to do is run or he's dead. That's what it
Yeah.
looked like to me. This is not going to happen. Will Howard's not going to be able to do that. You know,
Yeah.
he's not going to move like that. And Texas knows how to play against Will Howard.
Yeah.
The only difference is he has a better line. That's the only
Mhm.
difference. But he does have nightmares when he goes to bed and remembers all those games that he lost to Texas. And yeah, but no, as a Texas fan, I'm always going to pick them to win. So I
Yeah.
do predict
So
they're going to win.
so let's do some scenarios here. Texas beats Ohio State. Notre Dame beats Penn State. Would
Best
that
scenario.
justify the SEC a little bit better if that
Oh yeah,
happens?
oh yeah. It would shut everybody up. It'll be an asterisk in a way because
Mhm.
Texas probably should never been there.
Mhm.
But in the end, if we don't look at that game and you're just putting two teams heads up, that's the whole point to see who's better.
Right.
Then yeah, I would see them as better than at least everybody will say, well, there will be that little hashtag, that asterisk say, well, yeah, we're going downhill till you brought Texas in.
Yeah.
So that's what they would say.
Yeah,
So
no, I know what you mean. Um so now let's flip the script a little bit. Let's say that Ohio State obviously if Ohio State and Penn State win, there's a very legit argument that the Big 10 is doing very well, that they
mhm.
are building championship teams. If Ohio State and Penn State both lose, we were saying, you could make the argument the SEC is still king. However, what if Ohio State wins and Notre Dame wins?
If Ohio State Notre Dame wins,
Yeah, so
well,
Penn State loses to Notre Dame and Ohio State beats Texas. There's one Big Ten team left, no SEC teams left, and Ohio State knocked out another Big Ten team. So one Big Ten team lost to another Big Ten team, and then one Big Ten team lost to independent Notre Dame. In that scenario, if that were to happen, Ohio State, Notre Dame moving forward to the national championship, is the SEC still king?
nope. It also
Okay.
depends how badly Notre Dame beats Penn State. If it's a real close game down the wire, then yeah, Big Ten is better than the SEC, and the Independent better than the SEC too.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
What if we
yeah.
were to end the season right now and just look at it as it is right now? There's no game left. Who's the best conference? Who's the best conference in the nation right now?
The Big Ten, 100%. But in
So
my
you do
mind,
have the
it would
Big
be.
Ten right now.
But here's the thing: if they ended it right now, I would say Big Ten's the best. But guess what? First game of the season, Texas versus Ohio State. We'll decide who really is better.
So you're saying right now that the Big Ten is the best conference in the nation, and it's Texas's opportunity to take it back to the SEC.
Yep, it was. They would have had 3 teams in the playoffs if it wasn't for a head-to-head matchup.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I actually agree with you on that. I think it's neck and neck right now, and that the Ohio State Texas game is pretty much the tiebreaker. And we'll see what happens with Penn State. Yeah, we'll do a breakdown of these upcoming games first, or in a little bit. But I guess that's easy now, Derek. Easy with those horns. But we'll just see what happens, and we'll see which conference comes up on top. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you got this far, please consider hitting that like button and commenting down below with your thoughts. We'll see you guys in the next video.